again, we want to welcome our visitors, all around the family and guests, and as well as the parents, I'm sure, of those motion makers, and appreciate their performances. And to introduce our senior speaker this afternoon, we have Sarah Avakian and Rachel Lamb.
Okay. For those of you that don't know, but I'm sure most of you do, Miranduh is my best friend, and we're basically inseparable. Also, for those of you that didn't listen when she introduced me, we became friends through a breakup. What she didn't tell you were all the awkward moments that were to ensue by us becoming friends. Miranduh is book smart. One day in assembly, someone was talking about current events, and the topic happened to be illegal immigration and the issue of immigrants crossing the border. Miranduh proceeded to ask me why they didn't just make an underground railroad like Harriet Tubman. She thought it was actually underground. Another of her bright moments that none of us ever let her down, another of her bright moments that none of us let her look down was her question, do Amish people have their own lane on the highway? I don't really know what made her ask this question, but I'm pretty sure she regretted the moment it came out of her mouth. Not to say I haven't had my fair share of moments like this, because I kind of have them all the time. But Miranduh has always been there with me to to laugh it off and make me feel like a derp. Like I said, we're basically inseparable, and that's not an exaggeration. I just recently found out that Miranduh and I will not be going off to college together like we'd originally planned. And at first, I cried and ate my weight in Oreos. Also not an exaggeration. But I came to realize that even though we've only been friends for 2.5 years, it feels like we've been friends forever. Which makes me believe that we can make it through freshman year, not being attached at the hip, but I really hope you consider transferring next year. Expect a lot of phone calls from me, and I better be seeing you at a home games with Big Duck. What happens at Auburn stays at Auburn. Now I'd like to introduce my best friend, my sister, and my other half, Miranduh Caroline Avakian.
Used to a big audience like this. Anyways, I was told to keep this short, simple, and sweet. I was reminded that this morning. So, anyways, mentors, friends, and family, I get the pleasure of introducing my daughter for her chapel talk. She was born December 26th. No, I won't go there, I promise. Normal, I tell them about the Barney and the Lions, Barney of New York. That was her favorite children's TV show. Normal, I tell them how you would look in every single reflection of the mirror, and she would sing to Mariah Carey and dance. And this is like when she was 2, and she would just dance to all her songs. Anyway, all of you are her friends here. She would consider every single one of you a friend. She's a very humble person. She loves family. She's got 13 cousins, 7 first cousins, a brother, a sister. She comes from a very big family. And family is important in her life. And God would be first. Miranduh is not only my daughter, but she is really my best friend. And the one thing I'm really going to miss, I'm very thankful, by the way, that you decided to stay here and go to UTC. But one of the things that I'm really going to miss is from 6th until 10th grade, I would have 20 minutes every single morning with her and on the drive in here to school. And I would learn about all of you girls, all of you. She was talking me about every single one, and they were all good. And especially you. And Alex, you were perfect. But, and we would sing songs, and I know all the latest songs, I know all the latest songs. And then this last year, I'm so glad I wrote this down twice. But then, okay, I've got too long with this. Okay, so real quick, I wanted to say some acronyms that I learned. The Jan, when I thought she was, I mean, I just thought hardly ever met. And then this one told me, no, it's just ate my sleep. Okay, because she always comes in and goes, oh, I got the Jan. And then, frogs, I didn't know what frogs was. Toads, so totally toad. Anyway, I'm done. Really. She's beautiful. I love her. I love you so much. You're our best friend. Oh, she does have brother and sister, grandmother. They're all here. Brandon, Caroline, and Bobby.
I'd like to give a special thanks to all my guests for being here today. It means a lot, and I'm incredibly blessed to call you all my friends. I am your stereotypical teenager. I'm emotional, I complain a lot, and I stress myself out way more than I need to. Being your stereotypical teenager, I would also be forgetful of all the blessings in my life and times of stress and irritation. I, along with many of you in this room, can be guilty of this. And it's so easy to fall into that pattern, because for many of us, life is wonderful and pretty predictable. Life seems to revolve around our needs, and when it doesn't, we don't react very well. But you know, sometimes life gives us a wake-up call. Something happens that requires us to refocus, to reflect on our blessings, and to walk a little farther down the path of being adults. My revelation of life began with a phone call from my boyfriend Logan. Hey, I'm stuck in some heavy traffic outside of Ringgold. I think there's a bad wreck up ahead, so I don't know how long it'll be until I get there. Honestly, I looked at my watch and saw it was already 5:30. I thought, great, now we're going to be late. After I got off the phone with Logan, I began worrying about my Friday night plans and how they were going to be ruined. I was frustrated with the thought that Logan was only a few miles away, and because of this car accident, we were going to be late to our dinner reservation. Little did I know, though, that this wreck would have more of an impact on my life than just ruining my Friday night plans. Later that night, when Logan and I returned home, my brother Jacob shared some terrible news with me. He told me that a boy from his school had died in a car accident that afternoon. Jacob also told me that this boy was a senior and that he crashed right before the Georgia-Tennessee line. When he told me this, my heart sank because I knew what car accident he was talking about. A wave of guilt and shame flooded over me as I reflected over how frustrated I was earlier about this car accident. A boy who was in his second semester of his senior year, a boy who had a lack of opportunities left in front of him, a boy who had family and friends that loved him, a boy who was like me, lost his life with the wrong turn of a wheel. And there I was complaining about being late to a dinner reservation. That car accident not only created a delay in my Friday night plans, but opened my eyes about life. I came to realize that a lot of people, including myself, stress themselves out and work themselves up over petty things like homework, projects, dances, boys, demerits, and how life is just so unfair. The boy who died in that car accident reminded me that by worrying about the little things, we tend to forget how precious life actually is, how wonderfully blessed we all are, and how we were never promised a tomorrow. So instead of bickering with a best friend or upsetting yourself because you didn't get that day you wanted, remember the more important things in your life and ask yourself, is this really going to matter to me 20 years from now? As the genius Albert Einstein put it, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though as nothing is a miracle, and the other is as